Welcome back to my dark corner of this sick world. Why not join us on Patreon or YouTube memberships?
No strings attached?
Practically. We're looking at Voodoo Island, which immediately has one thing to recommend it.
The public loves to be scared.
Although, and I do not say this lightly, this is not Boris Karloff's best performance.
Tell me, Adams, do you believe in the magic of these spirits, the power of voodoo?
You do.
We open with a man who has clearly been watching his own movie.
There's nothing organically wrong with him.
Could you elaborate?
All I know is that organically, there's nothing wrong with him.
Mitchell was part of a survey team for the Tracy Island Hotel, and the only one to make it back alive.
Alive, but not alive.
Professional debunker Phillip Knight is called in to investigate, and even before they start, things are afoot. The film winning the Dark Corner's Black Cat Award for failing to reference the black cat.
Allan went dead.
The phone is dead. Even the phone is dead.
Missed opportunity. Pausing to don a selection of hats, they head off, along with Knight's super efficient assistant, Sarah Adams.
But I am pretty dull, aren't I?
And stylish designer Claire.
A martini. Cheetle, lovely.
Whose presence I really didn't get. They also take Mitchell along. Oh no, she's sewn his eye shut. Their plane gets into trouble and they get help.
I wonder how they get that much solid gold off the ground anyway.
From Adam West in his big screen debut. We need a millionaire playboy to become a masked vigilante.
I'm in.
After a brief stop, during which we learn that Mitchell is radio controlled, they continue to the next island, run by Elisha Cook Jr.
I feel years younger.
Yet I always look the same. We also meet tough guy Gunn.
I haven't been close to a woman for a long time.
Let's keep it that way, shall we?
Claire has a good line in devastating burns.
Now drop dead.
Sarah less so.
You just about got your finger on the button that knocks chips off people's shoulders, Mr. Gunn.
Before setting out to their final destination, Mitchell goes missing. And
He's dead.
there's only one conclusion.
That he was scared to death.
In the spot where he died,
An Oanga bag. A death wish.
Charles Bronson has been here.
There should be 4 more.
I don't know if there should be, but there were. One change of hat later, they set off for the actual island.
Now that cap of yours.
Not quite as nice as mine. Finally, after 40 minutes of mostly marking time,
There's the island. Adam, we've sighted the island.
why is Elisha Cook the only one soaking wet? They begin to search.
This mark, it's a sign used by land surveyors.
They're a primitive people. Now, I was made a promise earlier,
No strings attached.
and yet...
Coconut crabs might be more around. Get away from the trees.
They trek through the jungle.
Yes, and each has its own particular kind of beauty.
Why is Elisha Cook the only one who's messed up? Finding the remains of the previous team's campsite.
Maybe they're not ashes from a fire. Maybe they're ashes of a different kind.
You know it's bad dialogue when not even Karloff can make anything out of it. The only thing around them is plants.
Grows way. Look at it. Like it was alive.
The men then head back to the ship for supplies, leaving the women alone.
They'll want some warm food when they get back.
Better start building a kitchen. But there's a problem with the food.
Stinking, rotten, and crawling with maggots.
How could I know such a thing would happen?
No one told me food goes off. Fortunately, Gunn still has booze.
Why don't you give it and have a drink?
All the cool kids are doing it. He seems to be hitting on Sarah using the classic pickup artist technique of negging.
You mean there is something human about you, after all?
But I like the way I am.
Quite right, that is a good message, which the film hastily undermines.
Something so crammed full of facts and figures, names, dates, and places. Reports typing up night's lectures that you've no room left inside to be a woman. Think like a woman, feel like one. To even look at a man.
Honestly, the tedious main plot is vying with the hideous romantic subplot for which is worse. In the morning, Claire fulfills the contractual obligation of every woman in a jungle movie to indulge in some nude bathing. But
Carnivorous plants.
no supplies, one dead, killer plants. You're gonna need one hell of a good reason not to call time of death on this mission.
Don't you see that every sign we followed has drawn us even deeper into the jungle?
All this stuff trying to kill us is actually guiding us. That's the flimsiest justification I have ever heard. Underlined by...
There are more of them. We can't stay here. Hurry.
Then why are you staying here? They make camp. I'll just move over next to the man-eating plants. Feed me! The team are captured by natives, giving Karloff the chance to deliver what may be the single worst line of his professional career.
No, you fool, they'll slaughter us to bits.
Meeting the native chief just raises more questions.
50 years ago, I led a band of my people to this island.
We have been here since 1945. Knight tries to strike a deal.
Your secret will be kept, I promise you.
Cook takes a different approach.
Well, I'll not be robbed out of my part of this island. Not by a pack of inferior creatures who don't deserve to live.
Why, Skylar, why?
Same reason anyone does anything in this movie, a desperate attempt to keep a dead plot moving. For example,
Let's get some sleep.
spending a night in captivity before cutting yourself free the following morning to escape under cover of daylight. Sadly, there was little demand for the Elisha Cook Jr. action figure.
Nothing happened.
Testicles sold separately. I've no idea what's going on, but I assume they now will be killed or turned into zombies.
A safe journey.
I guess that was equally likely. You can't criticise the end of a movie for not making sense when none of the rest of it did either. This movie is a revelation and a startling reprieve for the Mexican quartet with which Karloff ended his career, because this is my new worst Boris Karloff movie ever.
It turned out to be a huge rubber monster.
Thanks for watching. For more on Boris Karloff, join us on Patreon for our exclusive series, 50 Weeks of Boris Karloff, looking at every horror film he made. Is this as bad as Boris Karloff's career got? Your thoughts in the comments below.
Come along.